And so, with another loss, the New York Bombers' tournament hopes seem very slim. For those just joining us here on the Lag Sports Network, our next segment is the biggest news in sports this week, as Arizona football, basketball, and baseball standout Travis Howard has made it clear to public through multiple sources that he is going to attempt to play all three sports at the professional level. There have been a handful of two-sport professional athletes, but never before have we seen a three-sport athlete. This topic has the nation butting heads on whether or not it's even possible. With the strain on the body from three sports, virtually no off-season, and the sports overlapping, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle for Howard. Failure or success, it will be interesting to see how events will play out. That concludes the Travis Howard segment. Coming up next, after the commercial break, we will discuss the recent success of the NBA's newest franchise, the Hartford War Dogs.
Hello and welcome one and all. My name is Michael Hawksbig, and many of you may know me as a pro sports analyst and a pro sports writer. I have been featured in many pro sports discussions on the Volcanic G Network, one of the biggest networks in pro sports. And I am here to bring you a brand new series, a brand new journey. Some might call it the multi-sports journey, featuring Travis Howard, who has taken the nation by storm. Many people are talking about this. Travis Howard is the next big thing in all three sports. If you are even remotely a sports fan, you have heard this story over 1,000,000 times. This is the number one trending thing even in all of the news, not just the sports world. This is absolutely incredible, taking the world by storm. And I am the man who is tasked with keeping everyone up to date and showing everyone what goes into becoming a pro sport athlete in three different sports. This is Travis Howard's multi-sport journey. There is not much to say about Travis Howard's minor league baseball season other than that it was incredible and he exceeded expectations by tenfold. He hit well over 300 in his Double-A appearances, and he even made the Double-A All-Star game as a starter. He was promoted to Triple-A in early August, late July. There is no footage for this first season as we only cover the major league appearances, or basically the professional appearances of Travis Howard. So we do not include the minor league footage, but the second he gets promoted to the major leagues, that footage will be included in this multi-sports journey series. But not much else to say about this season other than that it really exceeded expectations, and we hope to see Travis Howard in the majors in the next 2 years. Hopefully by the time he's 23, 24, Travis Howard decided he wanted to play baseball first at the age of 20. And then he turned 21 right before the football season, which carried on into the basketball season. But next, we are going to cover the basketball season as it is basically right after the MLB season. It intertwines with the football season, but we will, in fact, cover the basketball season first and then the football season separately. Travis Howard's basketball season has basically been low expectations thus far. Through his first week or two, Travis Howard really has impressed this team as he has scored over 20 points per game in actually a few games just in his first week of the basketball season with only about 10 to 15 minutes. He's on a minute restriction because Travis Howard has decided that even if he does make the playoffs with his team, the Utah Jazz, that he will not play in the playoffs because he wants to focus on the football season. That's why Travis Howard had to sign with the team. He did not get drafted into the NBA, but the Utah Jazz decided that they did need another shooting guard, so they decided to go with Travis Howard, and he really has impressed thus far. And after speaking with the Utah Jazz coach, he really likes what he has seen from Howard, and he hopes to give him more minutes as we move along in this season. We pick up with a game against the Dallas Mavericks, and Travis Howard has just continued to play better and better. Travis Howard is primarily known as an inside scorer, as he dunks a lot and, grabs a lot of boards from the opposite team. But Howard has recently spoken with us, and he says that he really wants to start working on his long-range shots, his three-pointers, and Travis Howard actually earned a spot on the West All-Star team, which is unheard of even from many rookies. And for Travis Howard to do this, playing basically as a sixth man, as he has been giving a bunch more minutes than he started off with. He was only playing with 10 minutes at the beginning of the season, but now he is up to 27 minutes, basically sharing time with the starting shooting guard at the Utah Jazz. This has been one of the most remarkable seasons. Many people believe that he wouldn't even score 5 points per game, but he's over here putting up some ridiculous numbers. Off the bench, he is scoring 19 points per game, and heading into the playoffs, the Utah Jazz have secured a number 2 seed, and they are playing a pivotal matchup against the Golden State Warriors. This game does not determine the number 1 seed, but this could be a Western Conference Finals matchup. But hold up, like we said, Travis Howard is not playing in the playoffs for the Utah Jazz. Don't know how much that's going to affect him. He has really made an impact, and when we talked to him about his impact that he made for this team, Travis Howard just says that he goes out there on a nightly basis and plays his hardest for this team. Sometimes he has to practice football, as this is intertwining with the NFL season, but he gives his all on the court day in, day out. He says that he's really worked on his three-point shot towards the end of the season. At the beginning of the season, he was more of an inside scorer, but he's really learned how to shoot the open three and the contested three. When he gets his chance, he will pop it. And heading into this final game of his first season, Travis Howard will finish his rookie season with 17.6 points per game, shooting 54% from the field, 35% from the three-point line, and which is the thing that is absolutely incredible is that he is shooting almost 97% from the free throw line. He is an incredible free throw shooter. Some people say that he just sits down in the gym and shoots thousands upon thousands of free throws each day. That is something that he is very proud of, as he has stated multiple times, but he says that he does have room to improve even going into the NFL season. Well, later on in the NFL season, he said that he's going to continue to work on his basketball game, and many people think that he could be an NBA superstar in his career. Some people say that he just drop all the sports altogether, but what many people do not know, that are just casual basketball fans and not any other sports fans, are that he is probably the number 1 player to ever come out of college in college football. That is how good he is, and he's just taken the NBA by storm. No one saw this, and he will end his rookie season with a win. hoping the Utah Jazz could make the playoffs. The unfortunate thing is that they get eliminated in the first round. They took a 3-1 lead, but they get eliminated, and Travis Howard says that he really wished he could have been there for his team. But we are now moving on into the NFL season. This is the most hyped up season by anybody in a long, long time. Howard looks to be a franchise quarterback. They said it didn't matter where he went, where he got picked. If he got picked in the 4th or 5th round, no matter what, this guy would turn into a superstar. He's the best prospect to ever come out of college, and that really didn't show in Travis Howard's first season in the NFL. He was not the greatest and definitely not the worst. People are not labeling him a bust yet, but they are very close to labeling him a bust if he does not perform in his second season in the NFL. This was just one of the worst seasons. Many people blame this on lack of practice, lack of, just being there in the game, because he is focusing on baseball and basketball. Like, he had an amazing season in both of those sports, but when it came to football, the sport that many people thought he would have a long-lasting career, even when he was done in the MLB and the NBA. But in his first career game, he threw 4 interceptions without even throwing a touchdown. And he did end up throwing one in his second game, but other than that, he really did not do much. He threw an interception in probably, I think, his first 5 games. This was just a disaster of a season. We asked Travis Howard how he felt about that going into the midseason. His team was 2-6, playing the Philadelphia Eagles, and he had this to say. He said that he didn't even pick up a football for months upon months, as he was in the heart of the MLB season, and once he got into the NBA season, he really bared down on that, because with lower expectations, he wanted to really prove him wrong, but he kind of put football on the back burners, and he said that was definitely on him, and he's working on improving his game. His season really didn't get much better even after we caught up with him in that interview. He did end up throwing, I believe, 19 touchdowns to 21 picks. It might have been 18 touchdowns to 21 picks. We are not really fact checked on that, but it really was not the best season for Travis Howard. There's not much more than we could say about this season for him. We really wish him the best of luck for his next NFL season, because we here believe that he has incredible potential to be a Hall of Famer, a legend in the NFL, and by the time he retires, he could be the greatest football player who ever lived. But as of now, he doesn't even look like he's a starter in the NFL. The 49ers head coach said that at times he was debating whether or not to bench Travis Howard in some games, because that's how bad it got. At the midseason, Travis Howard threw 9 touchdowns to 12 picks, and like we said, he ended up with 18 touchdowns to 21 picks, so he really did pick it up towards the back half of the season, and he had a pretty good game in his final outing as a rookie in the NFL. Nothing to write home about, as he did throw 2 picks. That is another thing that Travis Howard really needs to bear down on, is turnovers. He has a really big fumbling problem, which is not good because he's a mobile quarterback, and sometimes he just makes errant throws. Yes, he is playing with a terrible offensive line, probably the worst offensive line in football, but that is no excuse for Travis Howard to be throwing 21 picks per season. Travis Howard says that he will come back with an MVP-like season. He guarantees that. Travis Howard is a very motivated man. That's how we got to this point where he is playing 3 sports. But we hope for the best for Travis Howard. Like we said, we are rooting him on. That's why we are following him through all 3 of these sports. But this is Michael Hawksbig from the Volcanic G Network. We will see you next episode, 1 year to this day, and we will be signing out.